Welcome back to our keys to success for real estate. Sitting here with our round table, Nick Christopher, Steve Kempton, Pat Staffa. We're here to talk to you about some experiences that we're having today in the marketplace related to something we call a first-time home seller. Pat, what is a first-time home seller?
Uh, it's someone that hasn't sold a home in the past 3 to 8 years. So basically, we're in a new real estate market, way different than it was when you first purchased your property. So where do you start? Where do you begin? Right? Things are different now. So we coined the phrase first-time home seller, and we're the professionals at it that are going to be able to walk you through on what to do in today's market to sell your home and purchase a new one.
So, Steve, you've helped a ton of first-time home buyers in your
Absolutely,
career.
yeah.
Nick, the same.
Yeah.
I know you had a recent success story with a first-time home seller. Share it with us.
Yeah, so we sold them a condo about 5 years ago, and they reached out. They had a life-changing event, need some more space. So when we were able to talk to them and tell them how much money they had over $100,000 in equity built up in that condo.
Yep.
They had no idea what to do with it or how to get it out of that condo to be able to move forward and make an offer on their new house. So Annie Mac Home Mortgage Buy Now Sell Later Cash to Keys program allows them to make cash offers on that new house. Use that $100,000 of equity when they sell to take the mortgage out with Annie Mac. And that opens up a whole new world for them of what they're able to buy, where they're able to look, and how they can able to purchase.
And that offer is going to be free of the mortgage contingency. It's going to show us cash in the marketplace when they're making that offer.
Sure.
We're going to assess what their assets are. Steve helped us do that. Nick just had a success story as well with Pat. Share that one.
We were out looking, set a buyer up, had to rein her in a little bit because she was all over the place as far as where she was looking. We went from literally one extreme to the next. We were in Cumberland County, now to Camden County, single family to a townhouse, but we won the offer with the cash to keys offer. Actually, a little less than asking price, as a matter of fact. We got it for $5,000 under asking price. Shocker
awesome.
in this world,
That's
right?
awesome. Yeah.
But it worked.
Yeah.
Cash is king.
Absolutely.
Yeah, with the cash to keys, I mean, just me personally, in the past month and a half, I think I'm at over $80,000 in saved money using cash offers because folks have just been winning the property
For sure.
either a little bit below ask or they're in a multi-bid situation because they're cash with no contingencies getting the winning offer even though they're not the highest offer. So the total is almost about at $100,000, which is insane in this market because we're still in bidding wars and people are overpaying.
Yeah. So if you have a need, you had a family event, you need to buy a new property, you have lots of equity. I mean, it's a frozen asset, your house today almost, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're contributing to a bank account every month. Well, the same thing is with your house. You're making a mortgage payment every month. The market's doing the appreciation work, and you just don't know how to tap into all that frozen asset.
You have 100 grand, 200 grand, whatever it is sitting there that's just literally sitting there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We can help you deploy that, satisfy that family need, buy the house that you want, either upsizing, downsizing, right sizing, whatever you want to call it. You're confused, you need the help of professionals. Contact Steve, contact Nick. They'll get you in contact with us to help you make a winning cash offer in 2024.
Absolutely.
We think there's great opportunity for people.
For sure.
It's going to be tough.
It is.
We're going to navigate it with
But
you.
we have
right?
the tools and resources to have you navigate through the tough times.
And even take it a step further, when we submit that offer, what's the first thing we both do is we shoot one of you guys a text saying, hey, we're putting an offer on a 123 Main Street. I need you to call whoever the agent is, and then solidify that offer as well, solidify that buyer strength to help us win that offer.
Yeah, open communication and working relationships with the other agents in the industry, the other lenders in the industry. That's what we pride ourselves on. It's what helps. I know you and I get a lot of our offers accepted by working those relationships.
Before we started this video, we just talked about, I got a listing coming up. Steve has a buyer coming in.
Yeah.
So here we go.
The name recognition is huge, which is why it's allowed us, our Cash to Keys platform. We're approaching 850 closed transactions in a little over 2 years. So 850 families that felt hopeless.
Yep.
Some of those were with you guys, other professionals in the marketplace that we work with.
Absolutely.
We were able to execute for them, get the house that they wanted.
I mean, how many people have a 401k that they never log in and look and see the balance, right? And then when you log in, you're like, oh my God, I never knew I had this much money in there. Your home equity is just the same. But with your home's equity, you don't have to pay a tax or get penalized to draw money from it. So if you sell your property and you've amassed so much equity, then you could pay off other debts and you won't have to pay the government any money to borrow from
that
yourself.
early withdrawal fee, right?
Exactly.
I want 10%. I want normal income tax.
Yeah, on average, it's 40% to take from your 401k.
And think about the debt you're sitting with MasterCard or whatever.
Exactly,
It's what,
20,
25%,
30%.
right? Exactly.
Yeah, so that's the blended rate. So everyone's holding on to this 2 or 3% rate, which is phenomenal.
Agree.
But you have a $100, $200, $300,000 in equity, but also you have $50,000 in debt that you pay $2,000 a month on.
Exactly.
So why not pay off the debt, buy a better home, cash out, and keep money in the bank?
Correct.
All from selling the property. Who would have thought?
That's a great point, because a lot of times we talk to folks and they say, "Well, I have a 3% interest rate that I got in COVID.
I'm not going anywhere.
I'm not moving." I go, "Okay, well, let's talk about your whole financial profile."
Correct.
Well, I have 50,000 in credit card debt, or I
Yeah,
have student loans for my child, or whatever it is. And now we start talking about their household interest rate.
Yep.
Maybe that's 10, 12.
It's not 3% anymore.
Yeah,
It is not.
3% anymore,
And what can you
right.
do with the equity?
So it's
A ton.
it's tax-free money that
That's
you
right.
can get from selling your property and pay off and wipe the slate clean.
Literally.
Yeah. It's
And go get
lit-
another house on top
It's
of it.
literally a piggy bank. A lot of folks don't know they have right now
sure,
and how
yeah.
much equity they have.
So
So it's
Great tool to use.
We're going to give you that massive sledgehammer
yeah.
to bash the piggy bank to get all the money out of it and go transact and do what you want to do.
Absolutely.
People feel hopeless in a time like this. When we have these conversations, just Pat and I alone, over the last 60 days, we've had conversations with over 200 people that raise their hand and say, "We want a mortgage," right? 200 people, 200 conversations, and they're confused. They don't know what to do. We can
It's about guiding them and educating them.
put
through the
that
process.
blueprint together for you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I totally agree.
There's so many buyers, it's a bidding war, right? So the seller almost is shaking people down for money.
Yeah.
So why not put that sign in the ground and have people line up and take the highest bid? You're robbing them without a gun and a mask. Why not do it?
Yeah. And they'll buy.
And what happens with cash? If you're making a cash offer, what usually happens for your clients, right? When you're negotiating that, is it an advantage for them using the cash?
I'd say so.
Yeah, absolutely. If we can get an appraisal waiver as well,
So
then
one step
truly
further.
it just solidifies that this is what we're offering, Mr. Seller, and this is what you're going to get.
Yep.
And it makes them stand that much above everything else. It takes a lot of the guesswork out, takes a lot of concern out for the sellers.
Sure.
And that always, in ways that it's very hard to differentiate offers when you're a seller, that's the number one
That one
way.
differentiator.
Take away every question that they can about, well, what if the house doesn't appraise, or what if that number doesn't happen?
So if you're making a cash offer, do you sometimes get the house for a lesser price or closer to the
It
list
could happen.
price
It could
sometimes?
happen.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, every
Yeah.
seller's different, but
Yeah.
sellers always say what's most important to them. And if you can guarantee that number, a lot of times for sellers, that's what's most important to them. They know at the end of the day, I'm selling my house. This is how much, and there's less stress that I have on myself.
Uncertainty, contingency.
Correct.
These are bad. These are like 4-letter words in our business,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
We don't want any of them. So if we can remove those for sellers when you're making that offer, and you don't even have to have your house listed yet to do any of these things, right?
No,
You
we
want to
can talk
sell
about
your
it ahead of time.
Yeah.
You want to sell your home, right? But you don't want to put a sign in your yard yet. That's okay. We can get you approved for this. Go out and shop, find the home that you want. Once you get that contract, then these guys can put the sign in your ground, help you stage your home correctly, get top dollar, then buy your next house.
Absolutely.
And for some pizza, it'll help you move too.
I tried that. They didn't have a name.
Deep dish.
These guys.
No, but honestly,
I forgot. Little
everything's everything's doom and gloom, right? Every
Yeah.
newspaper, every website, you watch the news,
That's
rates
what the
are
media wants
high,
to portray
housing
for.
market's this. At the end of the day, how can the real estate market be bad when homes continuously appreciate day over day, month over month, year over year?
Steve and I were just talking off
Right.
camera. We both showed the same house. I showed it Saturday. When did you show it?
Monday.
Okay. When I got the notification, it was 16 emails. I'm sorry, 16 offers on it, and it went
At
40
least
something
at least
above
40,000
asking.
over ask. At least
So how is
40,000.
that a bad thing in real estate,
Right.
right? As a property owner and a seller, you're winning
100%.
because you're making more money on that investment that you made a few years ago, or even 20, 30 years ago.
Yep.
It's
Sure.
worth so much more. It does suck for buyers right now just because there's not a lot of inventory.
Correct.
But if you arm yourself with the right team, the right real estate agent, the right lender, the right program, the creativeness is going to get the offer accepted and you may not overpay. So it's not all bad as long as you make the right decisions with who you work with.
And it's important to start that process sooner than later because we want to have that search pretty narrowed down. So when that one does come up, we're ready to pull the
You're ready
trigger
to
on it.
strike.
Exactly.
Exactly.
We always say, like, if your dream home hit the market tomorrow, what would you do?
Absolutely.
You know, if you don't
Have the tools available at your resource to fire off when you're
Even
ready.
if it doesn't happen for 3 months, at least you're
Yeah,
ready.
yeah. And the cost of waiting too comes into play. Like
For
folks
sure.
will say, "Hey, I want to wait for rates to come down or prices to come down." You know, rates might come down.
Prices
As they
go
do.
up again.
prices are going to go up.
Yep.
I mean, the old rule is for every 1% that interest rates go down, the property price goes up by about 11%.
Right. I'd rather
So
take the rate.
yeah, I'd rather take the higher rate, buy the asset at a lower
For
price,
sure.
refinance the rate at some point down the road once they do fall.
I agree.
Absolutely.
You know, it's funny. Everyone always waits for the sale, right? You want to buy something. I'll wait for it to go on sale before I buy it, right? Same thing with housing. Everyone's waiting for rates to drop,
The market
for it
to
to be on
drop.
sale. The sales now, because the prices are going to go up, they're not going to come down.
Yeah.
You're not getting that. Andy's wife says, "Oh, it was 30% off," but won't say the price. Homes aren't going to go down by 30%. They're only going to increase by 20 to 30%,
Absolutely.
as they have in the past 3 years.
I always ask her how much that cost, and she said it was 30% off. I said,
Yeah.
that's not a number.
I get the
I
same
need-
spiel,
I need
too.
to know- I need to
Yeah, I
know.
think we all
I had a
do, right?
coupon.
At least she had a coupon. My wife just says, "Whoops."
Yeah.
It's not like Lowe's when you use your credit card and you automatically get 5% off. Now you're going to overpay. So if you're waiting
Yeah.
for a sale, it's not going to happen.
No.
The sale's right now.
Yeah.
Even though rates are higher, the sale's going to be when you refinance to a lower rate.
Correct.
True. And we see a lot of new construction coming back into the market. New construction prices are a lot higher,
Mhm.
which is going to continue to push existing home prices higher
Correct.
Absolutely.
as well. I mean, all well for you as the first-time home seller. You're going to continue to gain more equity in your home
It's a double-edged sword.
by that process. Yeah, but then you're going to pay on the other side. So
Yeah.
if you can secure a new home today, a little bit lower of a price, and you have a need to do so, again, here to help you walk through that process.
Absolutely.
I ask everyone 3% over 30 years, or let me give you 200,000 in your bank account tomorrow morning. I'm
Yeah.
taking the money and running.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Right.
Let me do what I see fit with it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Capital One gives 4% right now on high yield savings. Just put the money in the high yield
Yeah.
savings. You're making $8,000 a year just in interest
Right. For doing nothing.
for doing nothing.
Agreed.
Thanks for joining us with Keys to Real Estate Success. We'll talk with you again soon.